Hi, my name is Ann Crowley and I'll be your presenter today. And I'm introducing our Precision Catalog, and I would like to explain how to navigate and get the most out of the catalog. In the very beginning of our catalog, we have some index guides that can be applied to the catalog to help you go from page to page easily. And as you can see here, we have already installed our index guide to help me navigate the catalog. So the very start of our section, we start out with our Rice Lake balances. And then from after this, we go to our distributed products, and they're listed alphabetically in the guideline. So we have A&D, OHAS, and Sartorius laboratory equipment. And we have tried to put the balances in this section going from the most accurate, starting if the balance manufacturer has a semi-micro, and building up to the least accurate or more industrial type balance. But sometimes it doesn't go easily along those guidelines. Next in our catalog, we have our static solutions. And why might we have that is with balances, a lot of times people have a static problem that'll interfere with their balance. So customers like to purchase static brushes, ionizing strips, and the various accessories associated with that. And so we have a section of this right after our balances in the catalog. Next, we start into our test weights, and we have a table of contents here before the weight section starts to help you easily navigate. And our weight section is divided by different specifications. So we're divided by NIST and then ASTM and then the OAML specifications. And we have these all because we manufacture the weights to meet these specifications. And the guidelines we follow are NIST Handbook 105-1, ASTM E617-97, and the OAML R111-1 edition 2004. And as a company, we follow these standards and keep up with changes in them to make sure we're always manufacturing the weights to meet all the specification requirements. The next section after this is we have our weight and calibration specification. If you haven't studied the catalog as much as I have, you might not be aware that we added this section. This section is to give you some more sales information on the different weights and to give a little bit more explanation than a catalog page might present to you. So we added this to tell you if a weight is polished or how it's designed or just some different requirements and just help you gain more information out of the rest of the catalog pages. And then we start on our test weights themselves, and the first weight we have is our cast iron category. And in each of these pages, we list valuable information, and on each of the pages, throughout the catalog, not just the cast iron section, we'll have a part number, a description, a price, the price of a certificate, replacement case part number if available, and the accessories. So starting out, most of the cast iron weights are under the NIST classification. We do have a few ASTM and OAML weights, but we wanted to gather all the cast weights together, so they start out our catalog. So we start out with the avoirdupois, the pound weights, and then next we list the kilogram or metric weights. And then the next section that we have our slotted interlocking weights, and this is where we have some weights that meet ASTM 6 or 7, and we have a few of the cast weights that also fall into this category. Our next section we start is with our NIST stainless steel weights, and we start out now listing our metric weights first, and then we have our avoirdupois, or if you remember, pound weights. And so we list these individually. And these do not have cases because the requirements for NIST are not that a case must be sold with a case. So you can purchase a case separately for these or develop a specialized set for these. Next we go on and we have our weight sets, and we start with the kilogram weights, and then we list our weight sets from smallest to largest. So if you want more weights in your set, a higher capacity, then it will be a couple of pages further on. And then after our metric sets, we then go to our avoirdupois sets. The next section starts our precision, our hook weights and our specialty weights. And these are listed right after the NIST because most of them fall into class F. So we have cube weights, ring weights, slotted weights, penny weights, lift truck weights, and specialty sets. So keep in mind that even though we don't have something listed in our catalog, if you need a special size or a special shape, we can make it for you. And also hook weights, which are real popular for testing, where you can have a rod and then the weights hook on there so you can have a suspended calibration. So the weights are listed kilogram and then avoirdupois. Our next section is the electronic balance weights. And we start out with metric kits. And these are higher class weights, and so it's recommended that they be shipped in a case so they can maintain their tolerances. So we have class 1, class 2, class 3, and class 4. And also after that, we have our avoirdupois kits where we have class 1, class 2, and class 3, and class 4. And then the next section is the precision laboratory section, and these are polished weights with a screw knob design. And then we start out with our metric kits, class 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we also list the individual weights for special sets. In the section, remember, once again, a kit contains a case, a glove, and the weight. And so you always want your higher class weights to ship in a case to maintain the tolerances. And after the metric weights, we have our avoirdupois, individual ones, and here we have class 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then the individual weights for the special sets. Next, after that, we have our metric sets, starting small to large, and here we have classes 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then next we have there's several pages of these, we have our avoirdupois next. And then we go on to our OIML weights, and they once again are precision weights. And in this section, we have metric kits. The requirements for OIML are also that they ship in a case for classes E1, E2, F1, and F2, and M1. But the M2 weights are sold individually without a case. So we list these weights here. And then the next section is we have our metric sets. And OIML only has metric weights, not avoirdupois weights. And these weights are primarily used internationally or pharmaceutical companies or any regulatory requirements that require for an OIML weight. And then the next section after that is our weight accessories section. And here we list gloves, transfer equipment like tweezers. We have balance slabs and tables for balances, anti-vibration pad for your balances. We have special cases, transfer carts, and canvas desk covers for weights. There's a lot of weight accessories listed in this section. And at the very end, we have our reference section. Many times customers aren't sure which weight is the right one for their application. So in the back here, we have our tolerance charts that show the different tolerances for each of the different classes. We list information on the different types of certificates, and we have a guide to help you select the right certificate. We list the information on the different weight classifications, ASTM, NIST, or OIML, and there's a lot more valuable information listed in this section. This concludes the presentation. We have discussed an overview of the catalog, including all the different balances that we offer in the catalog to help you make the right selection, how to select your weight, the reference material. We look forward to working for you, and thank you very much for watching this presentation. My name is Ann Crowley, and please give me a call if I can be of assistance.